Hello and welcome to Very Hard Questions, the quiz contest that unsurprisingly asks the very hardest questions on television. I often ask myself very hard questions like, why is someone in a movie but on TV? We've assembled some of the very brightest brains in Britain to do battle in the very hardest of quizzing competitions. The more points our teams can score, the greater their chances of winning a place in the grand final, where the victorious will walk away with a £5,000 prize, this magnificent trophy, and the crown of Very Hard Questions series champion. Playing today, Rory, Steve and Josh. They are So Far Solent Good, and their opponents are Mark, Rowena and Charlie, also known as Picture Perfect. We tossed a coin backstage and So Far Solent Good. You will be first to go. That's a very nautical-sounding name. Where did it come from?
So we're three students at the University of Southampton, which is where we all met. So, yeah, because of our proximity to the Solent, that's why we've got that team name.
Will your individual academic subject, that is, inform your capacity?
Well, I'm a theoretical computer scientist.
Oh, my God.
I'm hoping for lots of questions about symmetric monoidal category theory.
Yes, well, that's very good. And you?
So I'm a PhD student in chemistry education, so anything on the periodic table or science in general would be preferable.
That leaves you, Rory.
I'm studying civil engineering and I really love water wheels, so anything on water wheels.
It all sounds very clever and quite technical too. It's time to meet today's challengers. Welcome to the show, Picture Perfect. Tell me about that team name.
Well, Mark and I are press photographers and Charlie is a graphic designer. Although we're press, I do a lot of glamour, so I do red carpets.
Oh, let me have some big name from a red carpet.
Well, I've photographed you once.
Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, of course.
Now, Mark and Charlie, you're formidable quizzing siblings.
Yep. We used to go quizzing quite a lot. And our family is very much, we love sort of competitiveness and games and that sort of thing.
Great stuff. Well, it's great to meet you all. If you're ready, let's play Very Hard Questions. In round one, each team will answer 4 very hard questions. But to help you, you have 7 clues to use across the round. First letter gives you the first letter of the first word of the answer. Picture clue offers up a visual cryptic clue. Extra fact gives you more information about the answer. Definition is a dictionary-style description of the answer. Add words inserts more information into the question itself. Different question shows you another question with the same answer. And related words, which are 3 words, all connected to the answer. But every time a clue is used, it will cost you a point and you won't be able to use it again in that round. So use them wisely and make sure you don't end up completely clueless. So far, Solent Good. Here is your first very hard question. In the indigenous Waro language, the name of which river means a place to paddle? What do you think, T?
Do you know where that language is from?
I don't. I would guess Africa or Australia.
I think Africa's probably a good shout, but I don't
There are a
think
lot of
I don't-
languages in both places, so I think we're going to need a clue here.
Yeah.
This is worth 4 points if you can get it straight off without any clues.
Oh, is first letter going to be helpful?
First
here?
letter might be. I mean,
First
it
letter
might
would
narrow
be
it down a
helpful.
little bit.
Yeah.
But should we do that?
Yeah.
OK, can we take the first letter, please?
First letter. And the first letter is O.
O. Right, so the river's beginning with O, Orinoco,
That is, yep, a river.
and that's in South America, isn't it? Yeah?
So it could be that
Venezuela kind of way.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other rivers that begin with the letter O?
No.
I feel like there must be some obvious ones. Well, there's several oozes in Britain, but I don't think there's
I
any
mean, there's the river
war in the
Ob,
whole language.
but the Ob is Russia way.
Yeah.
What do you reckon we should do? Should
I think we could take a gamble.
Should we take a gamble?
Take a gamble.
OK, we're going to take a gamble, and we're going to give our answer as Orinoco.
For 3 points, let's see if Orinoco is the correct answer. Orinoco. Wow. The river forms part of the border between Colombia and Venezuela. That was a very good start. You scored 3 points. Picture Perfect, here is your first very hard question. Eugenio Monti won the Pierre de Coubertin Fair Play Trophy for his conduct while competing with Sergio Siopes in which sport in 1964?
I mean, that Pierre de Coubertin, that sort of sounds obviously a bit French.
Well, he's the
Portuguese.
man who
The Eugenio.
He sort of created the Olympic Games, I think.
Ah, right.
He's a Frenchman.
Right. So it was in the Olympics, do you think?
I don't...
Was 64 an Olympic year?
It's 4 points if you can get it right without asking for a clue.
80, yes, an Olympic, yes.
It's Olympic year, OK. Do we
went
want
out
a
with-
different question? Definition.
maybe
Definition.
Definition. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
we could do that.
Yeah.
That sounds
Okay.
like a good
Yeah,
idea.
Let's go from
Yeah.
definition, John.
Definition. Sport contested at each Winter Olympics with the exception of 1960.
So, do you
Right.
think it's skiing? What other events are there in the Winter Olympics?
Well, you'll take the whole programme if you're going to tell us what's in the Winter
Yeah, that's
Yeah. We may need another clue here.
Yeah.
A related word.
Related word, Guy?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, a
okay.
related word, please, John.
a related word.
Related word, sure.
Jamaica,
Okay.
Cresta.
Cresta,
Oh, yeah.
Nash.
That's the
Yeah, this...
Bobsleigh.
bobsleigh. Yeah.
Bobsleigh.
Well, let's-
Hold on, though.
Well, Jamaica famously competed in the bobsleigh, didn't they?
Yeah.
The
They were the
Cresta
team.
run is the bobsleigh.
Bobsleigh. It is
Nash.
bobsleigh.
Nash and
So
Dixon
it
won
must-
the
yeah.
gold medal for
Yeah.
the...
Yes, I think
bobsleigh.
we say bobsleigh. Final
Okay.
answer.
Yeah.
For 2 points. Let's see if bobsleigh is the correct answer. Bobsleigh. Wow. Well done. Now, one of the bolts on Team GB's sled was broken, and Monty handed over a bolt from his own sled for them to use. Well, what a splendid chap. I just hope the GB would have done the same. Your related words were Jamaica, the bobsleigh team who are the subject of the film Cool Runnings are from Jamaica. Cresta Run is a track in St. Moritz used for bobsleigh. Nash, John Nash and Robin Dixon, as you said, in Team GB, won gold at the 1964 Olympics following Monty's act of fair play. Great story. And it scores you 2 points. So far, Solent good. Let's have a look at your second very hard question. Synth pop group Heaven 17 took their name from a fictional band mentioned in which novel?
I am sure I read that very recently.
Oh, really?
Not the novel,
Oh,
just
the
the fact. Yeah,
I mean, it sounds,
which is not helpful.
It sounds cyberpunky to me, so I immediately thought of, like, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Or
I don't think it's
I think
that.
you'd probably remember because of the film.
Yeah, well, I'm
Do you think cyberpunk is the right sort of area, or is it something else?
I mean, it's a fictional band in a novel. What novel would have fictional bands in it?
Lots.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't help, does it? We're going to need something else, aren't we?
What do we think?
Um,
Different question? Yeah,
shall
that
we
was
do that?
my first gut instinct.
Different
to
question?
the
Go for it. Fine by me.
Okay, we'd like to take a different question, please.
Different question. Taking its name from the Russian suffix for
that's-
teen, the fictional slang dialect Nadsat first appeared in which novel?
So that's Clockwork
Yeah,
Orange. Are you
100%.
happy with the Clockwork Orange? Okay,
Yes.
that would be.
Yeah.
We'd like to give a Clockwork Orange as our answer, please.
For 3 points, let's see if A Clockwork Orange is the correct answer. A Clockwork Orange, well done. Good, and it scores you 3 points. Right, picture perfect. Let's have a look at your second very hard question. At a 1978 fundraiser to restore the Hollywood sign, which singer sponsored the letter W?
Oh, we think surely they've got a W as part of
Yeah.
their first
What,
name.
like Willie
or
Nelson or
second
someone
name.
like that?
First or second name. Got any ideas?
I'm trying to think.
At the
American
moment-
Singers, 1978. I'm guessing it's American because it's got to be someone that's quite attached to the Hollywood sign, isn't it? When you think?
Yeah. Do you think an extra fact? Or what do you think, Captain?
How about a different question? Different question, please, John.
Different question. Who duetted with Denise Van Outen on the UK Top 40 single Can't Take My Eyes Off You?
I think it was Andy Williams. And he was around in 78 because he had that as a hit.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
Well, he had it originally,
And
but he's
also
obviously
Frankie
come.
Valli covered it.
Yeah, I know, but he's
But-
obviously got a W.
have
Andy
been
Williams
awful.
had a bit of a sort of renaissance.
Yeah.
Andy Williams, please, John.
Right, OK. For 3 points, let's see if Andy Williams is the correct answer. Andy Williams it is. Right.
That's good.
The cost is reported as being $27,700 per letter.
Wow.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
I think.
That's the correct answer, and it scores you 3 points. We're at the halfway point of round one, so let's take a look at the scores. So far, Solent Good have 6 points, and Picture Perfect have 5 points, so it is all to play for. Join us again in just a moment. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where both our teams are vying for a top 2 spot on the leaderboard and a place in the end of series final. So far, Solent good. Let's have a look at your third very hard question. In the late 19th century, some US states began requiring what foodstuff to be dyed pink in order to make it look less appetizing?
Well, it's something that they're not going to want you to eat.
Yes,
So what are
it must
I
be
mean,
something
sort of in the lead up to
bad.
Prohibition. I mean, is it something that they wanted to save animals or some other use?
Could it be alcohol?
Like, it could be alcohol.
Don't know.
But would you call that a foodstuff, though?
not really.
To drink?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think we're going to need to take
Yep.
one of the clues, aren't we? So could we take the related words clue, please, John?
Related words. Oleo, Simpson, Napoleon.
Right, so...
Oleo, what's that?
What
is
is
that
that?
oil?
Do you know?
Is that oil? But it's not really, is it?
Oh, it's
spelled
like
differently.
oleo.
Simpson, is that Homer Simpson?
I mean, Simpson is an oil company, isn't it?
Is it?
And oleo, I mean,
oil.
oleic.
Oh, so maybe it is. Actually, isn't turpentine? I have some thing in my head about pink turpentine now.
Is that oil?
Do you?
It's just like an oily.
What's it used for? Do you want to take another clue?
It'll cost you a point.
Yeah, well, yeah. What are we thinking? What do you reckon? Should we take a definition?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right then.
Could we take a definition, please?
Definition. Fat or oil-based food product invented by chemist Hippolyte Mege-Marier in 1869.
Is it margarine?
That's what I thought when I
Yeah.
saw that name.
Yeah.
Well, I think should we go with it because we both
Oleo.
thought.
Margarine's a good shout.
I think oleo
Is that a
is
brand of margarine?
Yeah, I think it is.
So should we go margarine?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
Yep.
We'd like to go with margarine, please.
Margarine. For 2 points, let's see, is margarine the correct answer? Margarine. Think of it, pink margarine. If you weren't put off margarine already, pink would finish you off, wouldn't it? And have you really been entertaining the idea that turpentine is a foodstuff?
I don't think he'd still be here if he was.
Lobbying by the dairy industry led to restrictions on the product, including the pink dye. And your related words. Oleo is short for oleomargarine, its original name. Simpson, Marge Simpson, is a character in the TV show The Simpsons, and Marge is a common shortened name for margarine. Napoleon, the invention of margarine resulted from Napoleon III's offer of a prize to the inventor of a butter substitute for soldiers. These are very hard questions, and this is very high-class answering. And it scores you 2 points. Picture perfect. Let's have a look at your third very hard question. In 2002, residents called Middlesbrough Council concerned that a 91-year-old local landmark had been destroyed following a storyline in which television series.
Right. What local landmarks are there in Middlesbrough? There's the bridge.
Yeah, there's the bridge. The transport.
The transport bridge, yeah. Which television series might have been set up there? Big on
You've got
TV.
4 clues to choose between.
Yeah.
You've got 4 points at the moment.
I'm inclined to go with an extra fact.
Okay.
I think we go extra fact, John.
Right on.
please.
John, yeah,
Extra fact.
Thank you.
Writers for the series included Dick Clement and Ian LaFrenne.
Right.
Oh.
Well, they were obviously comedy writers.
Yeah, they were comedy
Yeah.
writers and they wrote.
And,
And they,
That's
what
Tommy.
was
the
the one
Northeast,
with the...
Jimmy
oh.
Now. No. We might have to.
Should we go for an extra
Yeah,
letter?
first
Go,
letter.
go first letter.
Go first.
First.
letter.
No, two
First letter is A.
Okay. Jimmy
Our
Now.
feed
Oh,
us in Pet.
but that's
That's
too
in
late
New-
for that. Isn't
And
it?
that's in Newcastle.
They did sell the bridge.
But
I think
maybe
they did
it was...
Sell the bridge.
Yeah,
on
I
our-
think it's Our feed us in
Feed Us in
Pet.
Okay,
Pet.
let's go for that.
Yeah, go for it.
Our feed us in Pet.
For 2 points, let's see if Our Vitasen Pet is the correct answer. Amazing. I mean, Mark, you said Jimmy Now.
I did mention Jimmy Now.
In the programme, the characters dismantled the Middlesbrough Transporter Bridge and moved it to Arizona. Well done. That scores you 2 points. So far, Solent good. Let's have a look at your final very hard question of this round. Which musical was adapted from a stage play by Maureen Watkins and went on to win Tony Awards?
Do you know
I'm not good on
any
musicals.
musicals by Maureen Watkins?
Well, I don't know any plays by
never.
Maureen
No.
Watkins.
Isn't it the play by Maureen Watkins and the musical by someone else?
Should we go for an extra fact or a
Picture.
picture?
Picture,
Might be fun.
picture
Think a
might help.
picture?
It might give us a hint.
Should we go for a
Yeah, let's
picture?
have a
Let's-
pic.
It's going to be...
Let's colour it up. Let's go for picture clue, please.
A picture clue.
Pair of socks.
That is a pair of socks.
2 white socks. Yeah,
This
no, I
is
think
worth 3 important
Does it
points.
sound
Yes.
specific?
Wait for it.
Do we want to go for another...
Do you want to just take a punt?
Take an
or
extra fact?
Well, we can't take a punt. We've got no idea.
No, should we go for an extra fact then?
Yeah.
5 words. What do you think?
Two
I think
clues
extra
remaining.
fact.
Each time you use one, you
fact.
lose a point.
OK, we'd like to take an extra fact, please.
Extra fact. The musical includes the numbers A Little Bit of Good and Me and My Baby.
Me and My Baby sounds really familiar.
It's not Chicago?
I don't know.
What does that have to do with socks? Should we just add words?
We're
I
gonna
don't
have
think
to.
we know, do we?
Still don't know.
I guess 1 point's better
1
than
point's
no
better
points.
than 0.
Yeah.
OK, we'd like to add words then, please, John.
Add words, you lose a point. Which musical was adapted from a stage play by crime reporter Maureen Watkins and went on to win Tony Awards?
Still.
There's a crime musical. Is it that one?
Blood Brothers? No.
Oh, well, that's not the one I was trying to think of.
I don't know. I don't know.
Guys and
musicals.
Dolls was the one I was trying to think of.
It's not Guys and Dolls.
Okay,
I
thanks.
think.
Crime reporter.
You've only got 1 point to play for.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
But it is
Go
a point.
Chicago.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
Chicago.
All right, we're going to go Chicago as our final answer, but we're not very sure.
1 point. Let's see if Chicago is the correct answer. That is absolutely amazing. There we go. The truth of the matter is you did say Chicago much earlier when there were 2 points still to go.
Yes, that's true, but it wasn't a
had no
certainty,
idea.
We had
so
no idea.
I've not seen it, unfortunately. So,
You lost your bottle.
indeed.
Chicago White Sox is a baseball team, and they were 2 erstwhile White Sox hanging on the line. There you are. Whilst Maureen Watkins was a crime reporter for the Chicago Tribune, she covered the stories of 2 women who were accused and then acquitted of killing their lovers. Picture perfect. Let's have a look at your final, very hard question of this round. Artworks entitled Aha and are part of a series of works by which artist?
Who's the guy that does the dotted paint?
No, Roy Lichtenstein.
Lichtenstein.
That almost sounds to me something maybe more modern.
But they're not that old.
No, they're not. It's pop art.
It's pop
Yeah.
art, so I'm wondering.
What do we do? Add words or picture? What is
My gut tells me picture because
Okay.
it's visual.
All right.
Picture clue,
Yeah.
please.
Picture
vote,
clue.
please? Well, it could be
Damien Hirst.
Well,
yeah.
Damien Hirst
Well-
did do a skull.
Yeah, those.
I
rough
can't think of
with
anyone else
diamonds.
that's
No.
renowned for skulls.
No, I think we should go for Damien
We should
Hirst.
go for
Yeah,
it.
okay, let's do it. Damien Hirst.
For 3 points, and to take the lead, is Damien Hirst the correct answer? Oh, my goodness me. And are both cabinets filled with medicine packaging. There you are. That picture of a skull is because one of Hirst's famous artworks consists of a platinum skull encrusted with diamonds. It's called For the Love of God. Very well played from Picture Perfect. It scores you 3 points. We're at the end of round 1, so let's take a look at the scores. So far, Silent Good have 9 points, and Picture Perfect have 10 points. High-class answering and consistent scoring from both teams means there's only 1 point in it. After the break, our teams will face even more very hard questions. See how they do right after this. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where today's teams have been showcasing their grade A general knowledge. Let's get straight on with round 2. Now, in this round, you will tackle your own board of 3 questions, but be warned, answer a question incorrectly, and your round is instantly over, and any points scored in the round will be lost. You now only have 5 clues to use across all 3 questions, and remember, the more clues you use, the more points you lose. Let's have a look at your clues. Different question and extra fact, both of which you've already seen. Multiple choice, you'll see 4 possible answer options, but only 1 is correct. Audio clue, you'll be played an oral hint to the answer. Redacted text, you'll see a sentence containing the answer, but the key information has been censored. So far, Solent Good. Here's your board of 3 questions. Question 1. The subterranean Shell Grotto, a structure of unknown origin and era, discovered in 1835 and decorated with over 4 million shells, is in which town? Question 2. As recorded by Rocky Mountain Tree Ring Research, the living bristlecone pine tree growing in California's White Mountains that is approximately 4,850 years old, has been given what name? And question 3. Which Oscar winner began their entertainment career as part of the 8 Lancashire Lads clog dancing troupe? Right, so in which order do you feel you'd like to say? What are you going to take first?
Do you know the answer to any of them off the bat? Which one should we take first?
Number 1 feels like it's an English town to me.
Yeah. We'll take the first one, please, John.
OK. The subterranean shell grotto, a structure of unknown origin and era, discovered in 1835 and decorated with over 4 million shells, is in which town?
Right, sounds lovely.
It does.
I don't know the answer.
No.
Do you know the answer?
No, so extra fact will probably
Should
work.
we take an
Yeah.
extra fact?
Yeah.
Yep.
Extra fact.
Extra fact, please, yes.
In 2002, a wooden roller coaster in the town became the first in the UK to be given listed status.
Is it Blackpool?
Is it
Is
Blackpool?
that the big one?
Here, yeah.
That's the famous roller coaster. That
That's
sounds
mine.
familiar.
Let me just remind you that if you are answering incorrectly, your whole round is over and you get no points.
I mean, I feel like it's a good.
What other towns
first
have roller
instinct.
coasters in? Is there...
None off the top of my head that aren't,
Not just
theme
the
parks,
independent
yeah.
theme parks in
Like,
Amsterdam.
that's-
Should we just go?
I think we
Do
should
you want to
go.
just take that risk?
Because we've only got
I'm up
5
for it.
clues this whole
Yeah,
round.
that's true. So should we go with that now then?
I'm fine.
You're
to
happy
go
with
it.
that?
Yeah.
You're happy with that? Yeah.
High variance.
Okay. We'd like to give our final answer as Blackpool, please, John.
For 3 points, let's see if Blackpool is the correct answer. That's
Oh,
incorrect.
that's painful.
It means you haven't scored any points and your round is indeed
Oh,
over.
no.
Yes, I'm afraid after that brilliant performance in round 1, it has come to a slightly sticky halt. But it can be recovered. It can be recovered.
It's not ideal, really, is it?
No.
And I can reveal that the answer is Margate.
Oh.
Never
The
mind.
Wooden Scenic Railway, a Dreamland theme park, is Britain's oldest roller coaster and was given Grade 2 status after a recommendation from English Heritage. We all ought to go down there and trundle around on it.
Don't know if I want to now.
Salt in the wounds.
Indeed.
Its origin is an enduring mystery, with some reports saying it could be as much as 3,000 years old. Quite extraordinary. Well, let's have a look at the questions you didn't get to answer. Starting with question 2, I can reveal the answer is Methuselah. In the Bible, Methuselah is said to have lived to be 969 years old. That's even older than me. Question 3. Anybody have any clues? Top of the head? Nobody? Anybody? Charlie Chaplin.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a lot of
I just
places that
didn't
aren't
know.
Lancashire.
So far, Solent good. You have failed to score in that round. OK, Picture Perfect, you've seen what happened to them. Here is your board of 3 questions. Question 1. In the final episode of the television series The Young Ones, who makes a cameo appearance delivering Post? Question 2. Deposed in 1893, Lydia Kamakaeha was the original name of the Queen who was the last reigning monarch of which kingdom? Question 3. According to the Royal Society of Chemistry, which chemical element has the highest melting point of any metal at 3,414 degrees Celsius?
We'll do question 1 first.
Question 1. In the final episode of the television series The Young Ones, who makes a cameo appearance delivering Post?
Well, we're going to go for a clue, but
Yeah.
our gut feeling is that it is Cliff Richard, but
Well,
we need
that's
to
easy
check that
possibility.
because
Easy possibility.
it's the young ones.
Yeah, they had the song.
John, I think we would like to go for audio clue, please.
Audio.
Yeah,
That's Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz. Lenny. Lenny.
Going my way. Are you going my way?
Lenny Kravitz. No.
Are you going my way?
Are you going to go my way? So I don't think it may not be Clifford.
It could be Lenny Henry.
Lenny Henry.
Henry.
Because he's part of that group, wasn't he? He was married to Dawn French.
Yeah.
They were all part of that group together, weren't they? Alexis Sale.
Yeah. No.
What, who else could it be?
Well,
3 points for this if you get it at this point.
Well, what's
I
your
mean-
feeling, Guy?
I think Lenny Henry is a good shout.
Well, if we get it wrong, we're out.
But if we're out again.
See
Could
what's
take an
happened.
extra fact.
Yeah.
Answer incorrectly, your round will be over and you will score nothing.
I think an extra fact, John, please.
Extra fact. This performer appeared on New Faces at the age of 16?
Yeah, that is
Definitely Lenny Henry.
Lenny Henry.
Final answer, please, John.
For 2 points,
Yeah.
let's see if Lenny Henry is the correct answer. If it's incorrect, the round is over. Lenny Henry it is. You were very certain and you were right. That was really a shrewd captaincy, if I may say so.
Thank you very much.
The song you heard was Are You Gonna Go My Way by another Lenny, Lenny Kravitz, which you correctly identified in the course of your discursive experience. Well done, Picture Perfect. That scores you 2 points. Right. Which question would you like to tackle next?
We'll go for question 3, please.
Question 3. According to the Royal Society of Chemistry, which chemical element has the highest melting point of any metal at 3,414 degrees Celsius?
I think we either go for redacted text or different question. Let's go with different question first, please.
Yes.
This will lose your point, of course, but there'll still be 3 points if you get it.
Yeah.
The name of which metallic chemical element is derived from the Swedish words for heavy and stone?
Well, I used to have a Swedish girlfriend, but the only thing I could say was I love you. So that doesn't really
That
help.
doesn't help.
Heavy and stone.
I think we go
Okay,
for
Captain.
redacted
Go on,
text.
Captain.
So the redacted text, Uncle Blank, Memories of a Chemical Boyhood, title of memoir by Oliver Sacks.
That doesn't help me anyway. I mean,
I think we go multiple
That's
choice,
right.
and if we don't know,
We
then
don't know, we stick on-
stick.
yeah.
So could we have multiple choice, please?
Multiple choice. Titanium, platinum, tungsten, copper.
okay. If I had to pick one, I'd say titanium.
So would I.
You've got 2 points so far in this
Yeah.
round. If you answer incorrectly, you will lose all the points you've scored and your turn will be over.
I think we're going to pass on that one, please.
OK. You've decided to pass on that question. Guys, put them out of their agony. What is it?
It's tungsten.
Tungsten.
Tungsten's the answer.
Tungsten.
Oh, good.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's correct. Well, there we go. There are tragedies of all sorts. Well, its high melting point is one of the reasons tungsten was commonly used in filaments in electrical bulbs.
Right.
Well, there you are. You win some, you lose some. In Swedish, tung means heavy and sten means stone. Mark, what is I love you in Swedish?
Jag älskar dig.
Oh, my dear chap, it's so romantic. Oh, to think that you deployed it.
That's for you, John.
Right, here's your final question. Deposed in 1893, Lydia Kamakecha was the original name of the queen who was the last reigning monarch of which kingdom?
Wow. Well, we'd like to say that we know who she is, that we haven't got a clue.
No.
And literally, we don't have any clues left. So we are going to pass, please, John.
Any idea what the answer might be now the pressure's off?
Ukraine? Don't know. No.
Really?
No, not sure.
I know there's nothing you can do about what happened to you, but what about this?
Well, I think it's Hawaii. Well, we both
Oh,
think
well,
it's Hawaii.
congratulations, you got it right.
Hawaii.
But no points. This is a cruel world. A cruel world. Deposed in 1893, Lydia Kamakecha was the original name of the queen who was the last reigning monarch of Hawaii. Her regular name was Liliuokalani. That's the end of round 2, so let's see what that's done to the scores. So far, Solent Good have 9 points, and Picture Perfect are in the lead with 12 points. After a superb start, so far Solent Good couldn't score a point in that round, but with Picture Perfect only 3 points ahead, it's still all to play for. See you after the break. Welcome back to Very Hard Questions, where our teams have been competing for the points they need to secure a top 2 spot on the leaderboard. Remember, only the 2 highest scoring teams from across the entire series will make it through to the grand final. In round 3, each team will face 5 very hard questions, but now every one of them will be against the clock. Give a wrong answer or run out of time and you score nothing. Let's play round 3. So far, so good. Here is your first very hard question against the clock. Which animals resident on the Isle of Man and numbering over 150 are thought to have originated from a group that escaped from a wildlife park in the 1960s?
Parakeets
Right, so
or
we get
something.
pictures, related words, and first letter. I think
Birds.
it's
It's got to be birds, right?
Should we go for a picture clue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can we take a picture clue, please, John?
Picture clue.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, that's Hooper.
Oh.
Somebody Hooper.
Hooper. So,
Hooper swan.
Is it a hooper?
Hooper's
It's a Whooper swan, isn't it?
No, I think a Hooper's swan is a thing as well.
is it?
Mine-
I don't think it is.
What is he?
What does he play?
He
Is
plays
that a-
rugby, but he's somebody Hooper. That's his.
Okay, should we go for related words as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
quick.
can we take some related words, please?
Related words. Macropod,
As well.
Swan. Do
Padamelon,
you want to just go with
Bennett.
Go.
Can we go first letter, please, John?
First letter W.
Should we go for
Hooper swan.
a Whooper swan?
For 1 point, is Whooper Swan the correct answer? Oh dear, incorrect. The correct answer is Wallaby. That's
Stuck on the bird.
Michael Hooper of the Australian National Rugby Union team, who are nicknamed the Wallabies.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. No score for you there. Picture perfect. Here's your first very hard question. Against the clock. On a suit of armour, a spalder is designed to protect which part of the body?
Should we go picture clue? Yeah. Picture clue, please.
Picture clue coming up.
Oh, well, that's a leg of lamb, isn't
It's
it?
a joint.
Leg of lamb.
That's a leg.
Leg. Should we go leg?
Should we go,
Is that the rump?
I think it's a leg. Steve.
Extra fat, please.
Extra fat, yeah.
This piece of armour later evolved into a more advanced piece called the pauldron.
I think it's a leg, but
So related, weren't they?
Related word, please.
Related words. Burden, motorway, chip.
Leg, please, John.
For 1 point, is leg the correct answer? I'm afraid it's incorrect.
Yeah.
The correct answer is shoulder. The word spalled means shoulder. And the related words, burden. Colloquially, a person can be said to shoulder a burden. Motorway. Motorways have a hard shoulder. Chip. Have a chip on their shoulder. There we are. No points for either team in those first questions. So far, Solent good. Here's your second very hard question against the clock. Which golfer was still in their teens when they played for Europe in the 1999 Ryder Cup?
Can we do it? Do once more?
Is it that
No,
different guy
definition,
who's
extra
from
fact.
It
McElroy?
might be.
No, not 1999.
I don't know. Right, should
Way
we take
too
a
early.
different question?
Definition or extra fact?
Extra fact or
Yeah,
different
I don't-
question?
What do you want?
Rubbish on golf. Just pick one.
Can we have a different question, please, John?
Here's your different question. Which golfer was disqualified from the 2019 Saudi International for intentionally damaging some of the greens during the third round?
Could we take an extra fact, please, John?
Extra fact. He's been known as El Nino since he was a boy.
I don't know either. Who's the Spanish
Yeah,
guy?
who's the
Is
Spanish
it
guy?
Garcia?
Yeah.
Do we need the
yeah.
first name?
No,
It's his
just
first
go
name.
Say go. Just go for it.
Yeah, go for it.
I thought, okay. We're
Yes?
going to go Garcia.
We need the full name, I'm afraid. Bad luck, team. You're out of time. The correct answer was Sergio Garcia. He was 19 years, 8 months, and 15 days. Picture perfect. Here's your second very hard question against the clock. In his poem Tam O'Shanter, Robbie Burns claims which town cannot be surpassed for honest men and bonny lassies?
Should we...
First letter.
first letter, please.
First letter A.
Aberdeen, or isn't it? What other
Aberdeen.
Scottish towns are there?
Could be any.
Airdrie. Yeah.
Different
Okay.
question.
Different question. The Scottish Grand National is run at which racecourse?
Air, please, John.
For 2 points, is Ayr the correct answer? Ayr it is. Congratulations. The football team Ayr United are nicknamed the Honest Men. It scores you 2 points. So far, Solent good. Here's your third very hard question against the clock. What substance was reportedly used to create the fake snow in the poppy field scene of the 1939 film The Wizard of Oz?
Isn't it like lead paint or something?
Do you know that?
Oh, that does sound familiar. Yeah, because I think they got. Well,
Hey, do you want us to go for a different something else?
I don't know because the
Lead
witch
paint
got
in
ill.
or something.
Didn't she? Tin Man.
Should we take an extra fact or something?
Yeah, take
Or
an extra fact.
Which one? Extra fact?
Yeah.
Extra fact, please.
Extra fact. Extracted from mines, Russia was the largest producer of this product in
yeah.
2018.
Yeah. we'd like to go with asbestos, please, John.
For 3 points, is asbestos the correct answer? Asbestos it is. Good, you've turned the corner, finally. As it wasn't used frequently, people would have only encountered temporary exposure, which at the time was considered less risky than ongoing exposure. It does sound pretty nasty. Very well played. You get 3 points. Picture perfect. Here's your third very hard question against the clock. According to a near contemporary account, during the burial of which King of England did the swollen bowels burst and an intolerable stench assailed the nostrils of the bystanders and the whole crowd?
Should we go for related words?
Yeah.
Yep.
Related words coming up. Falaise, tower, census.
The King of England.
Who conducted the first census? Who was that?
Did the census.
Extra fat, please.
Extra fact, the tomb was later desecrated on 2 occasions in the 16th and 18th centuries.
Add words.
Yeah.
Add words, please.
In modern-day France.
French king then, must be. Oh, King of England. You better buzz.
Monday, France.
William I, please. William the Conqueror.
For 1 point, is William I the correct answer? William I is correct, also known as William the Conqueror. His bloated corpse wouldn't fit into the short stone sarcophagus, and as it was forced into place, his bowels burst. Sorry to leave you on such a thoroughly unpleasant note. The related words are falaise is where William was born. Tower, the White Tower of the Tower of London, was built under his instruction. Census, he commissioned the Doomsday Book, a comprehensive survey or census. It scores you 1 point. So far, Solent good. Here's your fourth very hard question against the clock. Vulcan Point, an island in a lake that is in a volcano in a bigger lake on an even bigger island, is in which country?
Canada came to mind for me as well.
Is that the one that's on the lake in a lake? We're going to have
Yeah.
to take something else. Should we take a different question or picture clue or something?
Different question.
Different
Okay,
question.
can we take a different question, please?
Different question coming up. The boxer Manny Pacquiao went on to serve in the Senate of which
Yeah,
country?
that's
It's
something
Filipinos,
actually,
so
Philippines
should we
as
go
well.
with
Yeah,
Philippines?
go.
Yeah. The Philippines, John.
For 3 points, is the Philippines the correct answer? It is. You've really turned the corner. Well done. Vulcan Point is an island in the crater lake on Volcano Island in Lake Taal on the Filipino island of Luzon. And it scored you 3 points. Picture perfect. Here's your fourth very hard question against the clock. In a 2004 episode of Sesame Street, the Cookie Monster says in the song The First Time We Eat Cookie that he thinks he had what first name before he tasted cookies?
Different question, please.
Illuminated roadside signs used to show motorists the speed they're travelling at are commonly known by what 3-letter acronym?
Show motorists the speed.
Acronym.
now.
What's the acronym?
Illuminated.
Road signs.
Don't know. Get
Picture clue.
First,
Picture
picture clue, please.
Picture clue coming up.
That's
That's that bloke out of EastEnders.
Ricky.
Ricky. Yeah.
No, what's his
Ricky.
real name?
Ricky something.
Shall we say Rick?
Should we? Could be Ricky. Or first letter.
First letter, please.
First letter. S.
S. Just you'll have to
I
buzz
don't
an
know.
answer. Pick a name. Pick a name.
Something.
Sugar.
For 1 point, it's sugar, the correct
I have
answer.
no idea.
Incorrect, I fear, but you knew that before I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
The correct answer is Sid.
Oh, Sid Owen.
Sid Owen.
Sid
Yeah.
Owen. Yeah.
Yes.
As Cookie once tweeted, me wasn't born with name Cookie Monster, it's just nicknamed that stuck. There is only one question left each, and the scores are tied.
Let's go.
So far, so good. Here's your final very hard question against the clock. The bands Little Mix and Backstreet Boys have both had a UK top 10 album with what title?
I don't know what any of their titles are. It might be something like Moon.
No, I don't know.
That was a
Should we,
song by
you've got to take
Different
one.
question.
Different question? Should we take a different question?
question.
We'd like to take a different question.
Different question. What is the common term for the substance containing phosphorus and nitrogen first identified by Friedrich Miescher in 1869?
Well, that's something I should definitely...
Your subject man.
I know.
I don't know.
Redacted
Text,
text
got
or
to go.
first letter.
Yeah, we'll go for redacted text, please, John.
Redacted text. Biology is the most powerful technology ever created. Blank
DNA, yeah,
is
okay.
software. You know what it is?
DNA, please, John.
So for 2 points, is DNA correct? Well done indeed. It would have been a little shameful to return to Southampton University having failed to get that question correct.
Indeed, yes.
Many congratulations, well done. You've bailed yourselves out. DNA was Little Mix's debut album. Backstreet Boys released their album DNA in 2019. That gives you 2 points. Picture perfect, here's your final, very hard question against the clock. In Luxembourg, the fourth Sunday in Lent is also a day dedicated to the celebration of which food item that, in past tradition, was gifted by men to their sweethearts as a symbol of affection.
Redacted text, please.
Redacted text coming up. If you twist yourself into a blank, not to split an infinitive, your sentences are going to be much worse. Stephen Pinker.
Extra fat, please.
Extra fact. An image of this food item appears in the symbol for a baker's guild in Germany.
In the Baker's Guild.
Germany. Oh, it's one of those twisted.
Which
I think it's pretzel, don't you?
Yeah, go for it.
pretzel, please, John.
For 2 points, is pretzel the correct answer? Pretzel it is. Congratulations. Well done indeed. Traditionally, a man would offer a pretzel to his sweetheart on Pretzel Day and would receive an egg at Easter if the offer was accepted. That scores you 2 points. That's the end of round 3, so let's have a look at the scores. So Far Solent Good have 17 points and Picture Perfect have 17 points. What a recovery. What a recovery. Well done. Teams, you now have one last chance to win some all-important points. Need I remind you, only the 2 highest-scoring teams from the entire series will contest the grand final and battle it out for £5,000 and the series champion trophy. Let's play the very hardest question. Now, you will play on the buzzer against each other and only one team can walk away with the points. I will reveal a question. If you think you know the answer, buzz in, answer correctly and win yourself 8 points. I will continue revealing clues until someone answers the question correctly. But the points on offer will reduce each time a clue is revealed. Answer incorrectly and your team will be locked out for the remainder of the clues. Fingers on buzzers, here is the very hardest question. Who, along with their date Andy Warhol, interrupted the wedding ceremony of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver when they arrived late?
I've got no idea. Who would be going up?
Can anyone answer for 8 points?
I've no idea.
8 points in play.
Oh, I don't.
No.
No. First up is Extra Fact. They recalled this event in their 2015 autobiography entitled I'll Never Write My Memoirs.
No, I don't.
Anyone answer for 7 points?
They're still alive in 2015.
Yes, it's still that.
No.
Rules out some.
Your next clue is different question. Whose 1977 debut album includes disco covers of songs from the Broadway musicals A Little Night Music, A Chorus Line, and Annie? Anybody answer for 6 points? Your next clue, add words. Who, along with their date Andy Warhol, interrupted the wedding ceremony of their one-time co-star Arnold Schwarzenegger and Maria Shriver when they arrived late?
Never watched her.
Anyone answer this for 5 points?
No chance.
Terminator.
We get one.
I can't think of anything else.
Your next clues, related words. Good, Bond, nightclubbing. Anyone answer for 4 points?
I've got
James Bond.
Bond Girl.
No.
Grace Jones.
Rowena.
I think it's Grace Jones.
Let's see if for 4 points Grace Jones is the right answer. Grace Jones. Wow, where did you get that from?
I think it was when the Bond came out, and I was thinking model, singer.
I think we all got it.
We
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
she had an
yeah.
album, Nightclubbing, as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
Here are the related words. Good. Jean-Paul Good is a French graphic designer with whom she had a long professional and romantic relationship. Bond. She appeared in the James Bond film A View to a Kill. Nightclubbing is an Iggy Pop song she covered on her breakthrough album of the same name. Congratulations, Picture Perfect. You score 4 points. And that's it. That is the end of the show. And here are the final scores. In second place, with a score of 17, we have so far Solent Good. But today's winners with a score of 21, it's Picture Perfect. Now, you're all competing for a place in the series final, so let's see where those scores have put you on the leaderboard. Decent scores from both teams, but it's not enough for a place in the top 2. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing Picture Perfect and so far Solent Good in the final. Einstein's and Winning Formula are still out in front. You have been absolutely fantastic. Both teams have really shown their mettle, and thank you very, very much. Join me next time when another bunch of very clever people attempt to answer some more very hard questions. And finally, I leave you with this very hard question. Can you imagine a world with no hypothetical situations? Goodbye.